What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 201st episode of the Pokemon Podcast. It's super effective. My name is SBJ, and with me today, I have Will.
Super tired, Will.
Yeah, we're doing...
You're super sleepy.
Coming off almost 2-hour episode from last week, our live anniversary show. So hopefully you guys caught and or enjoyed that.
But not both.
Not both.
Well, I guess and or implies you could either catch it and enjoy it, or catch it or enjoy it. There you go. Yes.
I should apologize in advance if the audio sounds differently. We had to install some new audio software to make it work with Twitch last week, and I just ran some updates on the current audio software. So it sounds a little weird to me, but in my test recordings that sounded normal. So we'll just find out, and I'll futz with it for next week. We're just doing a smaller episode for you guys, just to make sure you get your 4th episode for January. And yeah, we had
launching our 3rd century here.
We had a lot of fun I think we had fun last week, right? Will, you have fun?
I mean, it depends on how you define fun. It was a diversion.
Sitting in front of a camera for 2 hours?
Yeah. Having people comment about how old I am.
Now you only had like 2 people say that.
Yeah, and there was like 4, which is 100% more than you just said.
That's okay. All right. We had like about 60 to 80 people fluctuate in and out. I wanted to get Mike on, but he's busy with work. But he was moderating the chat and doing a very good job of it. But yeah, we had a nice turnout for our first time on Twitch, and I think it's something we want to do again. It's something the people in the Twitch chat wanted to do again, and I know a lot of people. I did a poll afterwards of how many enjoyed the show and how many missed it, and it was like 75% of people said they couldn't actually make the show. So obviously there's a lot more people that could have been watching if we were to do it again in the future. Obviously different times. Sunday
and there's a horrible rumor going around that if the Patreon makes more money that we have to do a weekly stream or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, horrifying.
Yeah, so let's just get the Patreon stuff out of the way. If you're a new listener, ignore this. But if you're a new listener, you can keep listening. But we do a Patreon over at patreon.com/it's super effective. And if you care to throw $1 a month our way, you get access to our Slack community. And if you give us $4 a month, which is $1 per episode, you get access to our Gold channel, which... Gold channel's so good.
It's gold.
It's gold. So $4 a month gets you access to the Gold exclusive channel in Slack, which is it's been fun. It's like I think only like 18 or 20 people. It's a lot smaller than the main channels, which is over 100 people at this point. But
but it enables you to make fun of the people in the other channels.
No, that doesn't happen. Well, you don't know though, because you're not Gold. Well, the listener maybe not be Gold. We're both Gold, obviously. I remember a little side story. I installed this cat facts bot, so every 24 hours it would deliver a fact about cats automatically into the Slack channel. And if you you could bring it up yourself by hitting /cat facts, and it would provide you a cat fact if you needed it in that moment. And it was probably only active for a day or two, but I was like, well, I don't have any... This was right when the Gold channel first got created. I was like, I don't have any benefits, and no one's really using Cat Facts. So I'm going to move Cat Facts into the Gold channel as a Gold member benefit. And boy, the Slack community really rioted at that.
People have to have their dubious Cat Facts.
That's right. Well, it is a Gold perk for Gold members. Cat Facts is there. Will, how was your weekend? Before we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 7 news articles to run down. But Pokemon news articles. But before we do that, Will, how was your weekend?
Yeah, why would we talk about Pokemon?
We can. We're not allowed to. We're obligated by the Pokemon company not to talk about Pokemon for the first 10 minutes.
So what's the rundown of the weekend? We had Iron Banner.
The IB.
Some Iron Banner to get through. I watched a lot of Newhart, which I enjoy watching that old sitcom gem from the 80s. and finished a crochet project. And then last night, you and I played PlayStation together, where we basically didn't talk to each other and played two completely different games, but we were connected through the headset. I think you and I did that for about 3 or 4 hours.
Yep.
Said about 5 words. I listened to you watch YouTube videos.
Well,
then,
it was mostly you being upset about your Iron Banner games.
I got real foul language, but I learned it from you. So you can't lie. All those swears were things that I've heard you say when you were playing Destiny.
I'm a bad influence.
That is very true. And then today I went out to Joe's house. He lives about an hour east of me. And we stopped by a game shop that's by him. I picked up some trial Vanguard decks because I haven't played Vanguard in a real long time. And we just played Vanguard for a couple hours. They have some new mechanics in there, which were a little tricky. I didn't quite understand, but it's still fun.
Awesome. I've never played Vanguard, but I'm sure it's good.
No.
No. Is it better than Netrunner? Netrunner's pretty good.
Well, the thing about Vanguard is, I guess, in the world of TCGs, it can be really complicated and simple at the same time. I don't know how to explain that part of it, but it's like each card has its own rule. The rules really are just in the cards, and so each card introduces its own set of rules. So if you, when you're playing for the first time, you have to literally hold the card up to your face and read through the entire thing to understand what it's doing and how it affects what you're trying to do. And then they've added this whole new mechanic in the past, because I haven't played in 2 years, and this new mechanic of the G zone is what it's called. And it's kind of like what in other games, I guess, would have been called a dock, where you have a set of cards that aren't part of your deck.
A donk?
A dock. No, not a donk. A dock. It's on the side, and you draw from it at certain points in the actual game. But still, the fundamental Vanguard is the same. Either way, Joe beat me at every single game that we played. So there you go.
Vintage Joe.
Yep. Real quick. Annapolis is lovely. So.
All right.
Nice to go out there.
While you were playing your infuriating Iron Banner, which I took care of that this morning, finished all my rank 5s.
You got everybody to 5?
Yeah.
Wow.
It only took 50 games. Last night, while Will was playing Iron Banner, I was playing a game called The Witness, which I believe is on PS4 and Steam. Those are your 2 options.
Is that a game where you go door to door and you try to get people to read your magazine?
No.
Okay.
That sounds I don't think it sounds more exciting. The Witness is a puzzle game made by the guy who made Braid. And I believe, from what I've read, he spent 8 years making the game, and there's over 500 puzzles in the game, and they're all line puzzles. So the simplest puzzle would be draw a line from the start to the end and avoid the breaks in the map. And then the game will introduce you rules. So the first rule you learn is you have to separate the black squares from the white squares. Kind of sounds a little racist, but it's not. But so you have to draw your line between them, and when you get to the end, all the black squares have to be on one side, all the white squares have to be on the other side. And then the second rule they introduce to you is these little Pac-Man pellets, where you have to draw a line and pick up all the pellets before you get to the end of it. And then it gets more complex, where now you have to not only separate the black and the white squares, but you have to pick up the pellets along the way. And if you're imagining this, you can't go over the line you've already drawn. It's blocked off. So you only have so much room to solve the puzzle. The game gets more complicated from that, but I was very determined on completing it last night, mostly because I wanted to see the ending, and I just wanted to, get it off my plate for games that are coming up. But I really enjoyed it. I think it's great. It's $39.99 on PSN when I bought it, which it came out last Tuesday. I think it's a great game if you like puzzles. If you don't like puzzles, probably not your cup of tea, because when you do something that is rewarding, as in solving a very complicated puzzle or figuring it out, it rewards you with more puzzles. So if you don't like puzzles, probably not for you. I've been told, and I haven't played it, but I've been told it's similar to Myst in a way.
Well, I'll be the judge of that since I've played like 4 out of the 5 versions of Myst that are out there. So
yeah, I've never played Myst, so I can't directly compare it, but I'm sure I would like it. But that was the game I've been playing, and besides Destiny, and I'll probably be getting back into Monster Hunter this week since Iron Banner will be over. And the Iron Banner Slack, or the Monster Hunter Slack community, the Slack channel for Monster Hunter in our Pokemon community is still blowing up. So that's awesome that you guys are still doing that. And of course,
I got past a roadblock I had in Monster Hunter, so now I'm all in. I've been having a great time. I got that coochie monster I killed, and now they're like, go get the Yanwatch Snatchy, and I'm like all for it. I'm ready to do it.
All right. Well, speaking of monsters, we are here to talk about the pocket monsters, otherwise known as Pokemon.
Ah.
Yeah, it's full circle here. We'll jump right into some news. First bit of news here is the Pokemon Johto League Champions. The complete collection will be released in North America on April 26th. That box set will include over 20 hours of content. And a little bit more details. Pokemon Johto League Champions Complete Collection is the complete DVD box set for the 4th dubbed Pokemon season. Will be released on April 26th, and the box set has a total runtime of 1,220 minutes, 20 hours, and 5 discs of content.
And that's Pokemon Johto?
Yeah, that has a real good theme song.
Yeah, it does. It's a whole new world we live in.
Some non-US news here. Mew distribution in Belgium and the Netherlands are going to be done by Game Mania. And that event will start on February 1st. So unless you are listening to this very late, you'll probably already get that.
Yeah, and if you're in Belgium, go out your front door and turn left and walk down a block. If you're in the Netherlands, go out your front door and turn right and go down a block. I'm pretty sure that's how the geography of Belgium and the Netherlands are. And Game Mania is like right on the border between both of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's amazing. It says the codes will be available from February 1st to February 24th. Game Mania recommends people to take their 3DS or 2DS with them to get Mew. But it also states that if someone is unable to bring their Nintendo 3DS or 2DS, they can get a voucher that will have a unique serial code instead. So I think they're saying this because if they run out of vouchers, you don't want to waste your trip.
So I guess there'll be some sort of wireless distribution.
Yep. That's what I'm assuming as well. More news here. Pokken Tournament Championship Series has been announced. Events will be held at the U.S. National Championship, which we have news about that too, and it will also be held at EVO 2016.
Yeah.
So EVO was something I mentioned about 2 episodes ago, where that's where your serious fighting game people are. EVO is where the Street Fighter and the Soul Calibur and the Tekken and the Killer Instinct, I'm trying to think of fighting games. Those are where the best of the best go to compete, so Pokken will be represented there. As well as the national and the national championships that will be taking place on July 1st through 3rd. We'll get to that in a bit. The news here says another Pokemon Tournament Championship Series is going to be held at the EVO Championship, a fighting video game event that is held in Las Vegas, Nevada from July 15th through the 17th, 2016. This will be the first time the Pokemon arcade game will be hosted at EVO. So not much details there, but if you go to EVO or you're planning on getting serious in Pokken Tournament, it might be up your alley.
I guess they'll be using the arcade cabinets rather than Wii U's.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they probably will have a lot of Wii U's Etherneted together because you can Ethernet 2 Wii U's for Pokken. It's one of 4
that's
games.
True. Yeah, it's true. You can do the LAN style.
Yeah, so that'll keep your 60 frames. The complaints that I had addressed two weeks ago was no fighting game is going to be competitive sitting at 30 frames a second. So that's why you're gonna have to Ethernet those Wii U's together to keep your 60 frames, which I'm sure in that situation, obviously that is the obvious road they're going to go down. Some other Mew news. The 20th anniversary Mew distribution was announced for Europe. This is also going to affect listeners in the UK, Italy, Germany, Switzerland, Austria, and Spain. The 20th anniversary Mew will be distributed via serial code at retailers in all the countries I've listed above. The codes will be valid until May 31st. In the United Kingdom specifically, Mew codes will be available at game stores. GAME, we've talked about that before. And then in Italy, the Mew codes will be available at GameStop.
No. In Italy, it's Game Stop.
Okay, my mistake. In Germany, Switzerland, Austria, Mew will also be available at GameStop. But those three countries that will be available starting February 4th. They're a little bit late to that. And in Spain, Mew will be available at Game, same as the United Kingdom. So there you go. Get your Mew on, because we don't know when Mew is coming back after this.
Yeah, Mew does not come around very often.
No, he does not.
You need to get yourself some Mews.
Probably the biggest news of the past week is a new game, The Great Detective Pikachu, to be released in Japan on February 3rd. The new game, Great Detective Pikachu, Birth of a New Duo, that is the entire title of the game, is a cinematic adventure game that will be released in Japan on released on the Nintendo eShop on February 3rd. The game is developed by Creatures Inc. and will be published by the Pokemon Company. From January 27th to February 29th, the game can be purchased in Japan for 1,200 yen instead of the normal price of 1,500 yen. The game is already available for pre-download. In the game, a boy named Tim Goodman comes to Rhyme City to meet the great Detective Pikachu. This Pikachu is able to talk and wear deerstalker, a kind of hat associated with Sherlock. I didn't know that's what the hat was called.
Yeah, it is.
That's a cool hat name.
With the flaps that you tie up right there on the top of the head.
I thought it was just called a detective hat.
Nah, it's called a deerstalker.
Dang, that's real cool. The game is initially... this is just that's just some commercial information. So yeah, it's a downloadable game. This was a game we saw almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was talked about 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was talked about, it was rumored, and then it went off everyone's radar, and they brought it back. So I would imagine for $12, $15, it's not a terribly long game, and without getting a physical release, I'm sure it's just a cute little side project that they're doing that'll probably be fun.
And I think from what I heard, the video or the Rhyme City is actually Boston.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I've never paid much attention even when I was in Boston, so.
There was no release date outside of Japan at this point, so we don't know if it would ever come to the States, but I would imagine because it's Pokemon's 20th anniversary this year that we would be seeing it probably later this year. Well,
I don't know if you have a news item about the what is that thing? It's like everybody signs it, a bunch of signatures on there.
Oh, I don't want to talk about how dumb that is.
Okay, I do want to talk about how dumb that is, because if you are signing that to have the voice of
Danny DeVito,
Detective Pikachu be Danny DeVito, I don't know you. I think Danny DeVito has nothing to do with children and goodness, and no.
Yeah, he's not a very. Maybe he is in his personal life, but at least on the TV shows he's on, he's not very child friendly. So to talk about this real quick, because you brought it up, there's a online petition for Danny DeVito.
That's the word I was looking.
Danny DeVito to be the voice of Detective Pikachu, since this Pikachu will be actually talking. Let me tell you why it's dumb. Name one online petition that has been successful.
I mean, a couple of the things that change.org does, those are successful.
Are they?
Well, I signed one that I'm not going to talk about, but yeah, it was successful.
I mean, there was the most recent dumb online petition was to get rid of Metroid Hunters or whatever that game they showed at E3 last year. It was like, this was the Metroid game we didn't want, Nintendo. We were making a petition, so you guys stop making it. No, it's just
Okay,
dumb.
that's dumb.
Yeah. I can't think of a online petition that has affected stuff that I directly like in life to be successful. And I can tell you right now, Danny DeVito's not going to be the voice of Detective Pikachu.
You know who would make a great voice for Detective Pikachu? Our friend Jake Pake. He can do lots of voices.
That's true. Jake Pake. I mean, you're making... So, besides the fact that online petitioning is pretty much dumb, like, if you want anything to have merit and carry weight, a phone call does that better. A written letter does that better. Just going to a website and signing your name doesn't hold much merit. But the petition is saying, one, all these people want Danny DeVito, even though who knows if Pokemon Company has probably already picked somebody in mind. But two, you're under the assumption that he wants to do it. It would be a totally different story if he would have tweeted, man, would I like to be the voice actor of Pikachu? But he didn't. You have two parties that have zero communication with each other, and people are making a petition saying this should happen, and it's not. It's dumb.
Well, there you go.
Thank you.
You know what? I'm signing a petition to make Abe Vigoda the voice of Detective Pikachu.
I will tweet that I want to be the voice of Detective Pikachu, and then you guys can make a petition. No, I don't want to be.
You're a little too young that nobody would actually believe that you could be a detective.
That's true. Yeah. I don't own a deerstalker hat. That's my first problem.
Do you own a magnifying glass?
Yeah. It's one for like iPhones.
Okay.
But it does magnify and light up.
Have you ever read an Encyclopedia Brown book?
No, but I know what a dictionary is.
All right. Well, Encyclopedia Brown is a character. He's a person who is a detective.
I see.
A boy detective, kind of like a Hardy Boy, but a little better.
I've played Professor Layton. Does that hold any weight?
I've never played Detective Layton. I don't know. Or Professor Layton.
Professor Layton, yeah.
Isn't that just a puzzle game?
It is, but you're solving it. He is like a French Sherlock Holmes.
Does he wear a deerstalker?
No, he wears a top hat. I believe the little boy in Professor Layton wears a deerstalker.
No, the little boy wears a newsboy cap.
Oh, yeah.
Or in some cultures, a Kangol.
A Kangol, eh?
Yes.
We're learning all about hats this episode.
Maybe it's called a page boy. I know I have one.
Do you have a deerstalker?
Do not have a deerstalker. Oh, a page boy is a haircut. Yeah, no. I bought like a Kangol hat when I was in Austin one time. No, that's different. Kangol's a brand anyways. I think it's a newsboy cap. There you go. Just go with that. Run with that. Yeah, newsboy cap.
I see. Well, you can wear all your deerstalkers, your newsboys, and your Kangols to the 2016 Pokemon US National Championships. Are you ready to go back to Indiana, Will?
Well, I would be if that's where the national championships were going to be held, but that's not where they're going to be held.
Thought I was going to throw you off there.
Oh, dude, I am on top.
You are on top of the news. This is the first time in, I don't know how many years, 6, 7? Maybe way longer. At least since I've been following it. The 2016 Pokemon US National Championships will be held between July 1st and July 3rd at the Greater Columbus Convention Center in Columbus, Ohio. This will include the TCG, the video game, and Poken tournament competitions. Since 2010, the U.S. National Championship was consistently held at the Indiana Convention Center in Indianapolis, Indiana. The reason for the move has not officially been stated. Stay tuned for more details. That's kind of big news, I think.
It is, and I can go back to things I've said on previous episodes about how I've grown comfortable with Indianapolis, and now you're throwing it over to Columbus. You're only saving me about 2 hours on my drive. So it's going from a 10-hour drive to an 8-hour drive.
That's 4 hours total from there and back.
Yeah, but they're like days apart, so it doesn't make that much difference. And I looked at the hotel information for Columbus, and I was No bueno. Not too pleased.
What was the deets? Lay them out here.
Well, they have a hotel that's connected to the convention center, which is obviously the one that you want to get a hotel room at. And it's like the cheapest room, I think, was like $200 a night.
Oh my gosh.
Which is more than we're paying for our Gen Con hotels.
Well, you guys got a good deal. I kind of got shafted.
What do you mean? You got a hotel in downtown Indianapolis.
Yeah, but now I'm separated from you guys.
Well, dump your hotel and come stay 10 miles away with us.
I mean, I can. I got to pay $50 to dump it.
What's $50?
It's a $50 cancellation fee.
Yeah, but what's $50 to you?
I mean, I have to check if the Wyndham still has hotels, but
you just spent $40 on a video game that you played in 3 days that you'll never play ever again. 40.
Yeah.
10 more dollars, and you're out there in the hotel with us having a grand old time.
That's true. But I was thinking also that if I do the podcast thing this year.
Oh, presumptuous.
Well, yeah, you know me. That I won't be like.
What if now, this is getting a little inside baseball, as they like to say. The co-hosts of your other podcast, what if they like me better? What if they want me to come podcast?
I mean, yeah, why not?
Because I've got a hotel that's 11 miles away. And obviously, by your criteria, that's too far for podcasting.
I mean, I made it work. I'm just saying, I made it work last year.
Yeah,
but
you made it work because I drove. And I stayed there until 3 o'clock in the morning to drive you home.
I'm saying I don't want to inconvenience anyone.
I understand.
We're getting off topic here. $200 a night. That's expensive.
Yeah, but I'm sure Columbus is a lovely place, and I'm sure there's other hotels.
So I want to say when I stayed at Nationals 3 years ago, it was Irene and I and a friend and his girlfriend, and we stayed at the Marriott, which is connected to the Indianapolis Convention Center, which Marriott is a very nice hotel. I believe it was $169 a night. Obviously, if you split that in half, you're only paying like $90 after tax a night, and 3 nights. That's not too bad, but $200. Ugh.
Yeah, and you want to get there a day early, and you want to stay a day extra. But
yeah, that's 2 hours extra on my drive, 2 hours less on your drive. So now we're equally 8 hours apart each.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Columbus. It could be that there's plenty of hotels in that area, or it could be like Fort Wayne, and you have to drive from every hotel no matter where it is.
I would be curious to look up the Indianapolis Convention Center and see if somebody paid more money and or booked those dates already.
Intriguing.
And Pokemon just didn't want to pony up the cash for it. Unless their new thing is just to move convention centers to get more people to come. It's very easy for people in Indiana to go to Pokemon since it's right there. But, 2 hours is a, no pun intended, a roadblock for a lot of people.
Really? 2 hours?
I mean, if it's in your town, finally, you really have no reason not to go. Whereas if it's 2 hours away, that's enough to say, I'm not really ready. My team's not ready. I can't afford a hotel. You know what I mean?
Well, I know that there's nothing scheduled in the Indianapolis Convention Center for the July 4th weekend. So
maybe that's not posted yet.
Ooh, they got a lot of stuff posted.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. We got one more bit of news here. Are we still up in the air? Are you committed to not going, or are you still iffy?
For U.S. Nationals?
Yeah.
Man, it's so hard in this meta to get a team together. Ugh.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, I mean, there's also TCG and Poken. You got 2 other options.
I am worse at the Pokemon TCG than I am at Vanguard. So, I mean, and they got the no break mechanic in there, and
yeah. I mean, my big problem with Nationals is always so close to Gen Con.
Yep,
too. And they were for the past 6 years they were in the same location. Obviously now Nationals is farther from me, but when you're spending $1,000 at Gen Con just for housing or hotels alone, plus the time, to get off, it's hard to swing both. And I'm not gonna lie, Gen Con is a fuller experience in every aspect than Nationals.
Yeah, and they do have Pokemon at Gen Con, but they don't have Pathfinder at Pokemon.
I think the problem So the problem with nationals is a couple things. You either have to be really competitive in either the TCG or the video game. And if you're not, which is fine, but if you are, I'll get to the not. If you are, your whole day is wake up early, play your match, wait anywhere between 10 minutes to an hour. You can't do much because you're waiting. Results. Play your next match, rinse and repeat. And almost always, you get screwed on lunch.
Yeah.
Like the tournament organizers haven't figured out. Like, your day is stressful. And if it's not, that's cool. Like, you're a calm, collected player. But I would say the majority of people competing are stressed. The lunch is like the one savior to your day, and you almost always get screwed on it. So
and who even knows if there's a shopping mall connected to the Columbus Convention Center?
Yeah, I don't know what the food situation.
With a Chick-fil-A.
With Chick-fil-A.
Right?
Yeah. So now you go on the other. So your days are full. If you're competing competitively, your days are full. There's not much you're going to do besides compete. And then usually by the time competition's over, you're kind of pooped out. You're done. That wraps up. Oh, I mean, they wrapped up at like 7 or 8 last year, I feel like, from what I recall. Yeah,
pretty late.
And it's not like you can stay up or do anything because you are on a schedule of, okay, we need to be up by 9 a.m. This tournament starts at 10, blah, blah, blah. So let's go to the other aspect. You're going there for the love of Pokemon. You're not competing competitively. Unfortunately, there's not much for you to do. Like, you can play on side things, but it's this, like, to me, to play in a side thing, that's like 2 hours of entertainment. That's like 3 hours of entertainment. That is not an 8-hour event that I want to sit at. And then the other aspect is, oh, well, there's Pokemon stuff I can buy. And from the last 4 years that I went, it was not official Pokemon stuff. It was like 4 vendors with upmarked Pokemon stuff that they imported from Japan or that they found on eBay that they're selling. And they're just like 2 rooms of small vendors. It's not. And me, hey, don't get me wrong. I love to spend money, especially on Pokemon stuff. But none of that even appealed to me to buy.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's mostly intended like if you want to buy select cards, right? Specific cards. Or if you want to sell all your cards, as I know someone did 1 year. But, you know, saying all that, if a bunch of dudes wants to get together and do road trip and pile into a hotel room, I could still be convinced to go.
Yeah, I mean, I could be convinced. But like I said, if they weren't so close, it'd be an easier argument. Well, at least with the Gen Con, it's like I'll wake up when I want. I'll stay up when I want. I'm not on the schedule. I'm not feeling competitive. So many things to do. So, I mean, that's why it wins out to me. Plus, there is the Pokemon stuff. There's hundreds of street passes every hour that you can get. There are people,
yeah,
like you battle with, like, there's tons of Pokemon cosplay. Like, it's very easy to find a battle if you want. There's a TCG, like, and that's the only reason why I'm comparing, is because it's not like I'm going to Gen Con to ignore Pokemon, but there is a Pokemon presence at Gen Con. And so to me, that's where I want to put my time, my vacation, and my money in, because I'm going to get a more rich experience.
Yeah, because you can play Pokemon and you can play the WWE Superstars game.
That's right.
Which I saw in the store today and almost bought, but stopped myself.
I woke up this morning, no joke. I woke up this morning and I was like, I think I'm going to take the shrink wrap off and actually sit down and read the rule book, because I got that itch to play. It's a good game.
It's not a bad game.
It's not a bad game. I mean, it's made by the same people who made the Firefly board game, which is very, very popular. Last bit of news here. The Season 17 and Movie 17 coming to Netflix on February 1st. The 17th season of the Pokemon anime, Pokemon the Series XY, and the 17th movie, Diancie and the Cocoon of Destruction, will be added to Netflix catalog on February 1st, 2016. And that's pretty much all the news there. I mean,
well, I'm glad they're doing that, because they're getting rid of Doctor Who and they're actually putting something good on.
There you go.
Nah, I'm kidding. I like Doctor Who. Sad to see it go off Netflix, but I've never seen the Diancie movie, so.
Yeah, I've not seen the Diancie movie. I want to see that. Irene just renewed our Netflix subscription. I actually canceled it like a year ago. I was so tired of paying $10 a month for not watching anything, but she's now paying the $10 a month.
Why didn't you just use mine? Because I don't ever watch Netflix.
Yeah, I already stole your Hulu.
That's true.
I'm very, very interested in seeing Pokemon the series X and Y after you talk so highly about it, Will. So
Yeah. Oh man, it's so good.
I was gonna say maybe I'll start it tonight, but I gotta wait like 10 more hours for it to show up.
Oh yeah, not quite February 1st yet.
It does say the older movies and the older episodes would be removed. I think the only episodes that were remaining was black and white stuff. And who needs that? Black and white was terrible.
That's not true. And I don't understand these series where they'll do like, oh, our first 3 seasons are on Hulu and our next 4 seasons are on Netflix, and then we've got like 2 seasons that are online only on our app. And I'm like, why can't everything just be in one place?
I feel so there are over 700 episodes of the Pokemon anime, maybe even more. I'm just trying to add numbers in my head. And there are, 19 movies. Pokemon could, in theory, do its own network for like $4.99 a month to watch it all.
Oh yeah, they got more collateral than the WWE. They can do it.
I mean, I think they could pull it off, and $9.99 would be steep for unlimited Pokemon. I mean, you couldn't consume that. You couldn't consume that in a weekend or a week or anything like that. But I think $4.99 would be I would feel comfortable paying for a Pokemon TV app that just gives me all of it.
No, this is what we need. We need a Pokemon app. Call it Pokemon TV. Call it what you want, but it's going to have all the seasons of all the cartoon shows, every episode. It's going to have all the movies, and it's going to do streaming like the WWE app does, where they have their own shows that are like these short form shows that they've put together and documentaries or whatever. There'll be more documentaries over time. And you know what else is going to feature? It's going to feature Pokemon Podcast. It's super effective once a week, 2-hour block. It's going to have Kyle Sukovich. He'll do like a TCG Insider's Look kind of show. I don't know. It has some of them the VGC YouTubers get on there. They'll have their own shows, and then we'll all be rich, right? It'll cost them very little money. It'll put a lot of money into my pocket, and everyone's going to be happy because it's going to be like you could just turn on Pokemon TV and veg out and have a good old time and like breed your Pokemons or have Pokemon battles and just have Pokemon TV on in front of you.
You're not wrong.
Yes.
I mean, the Pokemon TV app already exists, and it already gives you... What do they rotate? They rotate episodes out every 2 weeks, and it's usually 10 free episodes.
And they do like 4 different seasons, like 5 episodes from 4 different seasons simultaneously.
All you have to do is add a upgrade button for pro members, and now they have the entire catalog that they will continue paying for month after month.
Monthly. And it's actually such a small amount that they'll forget. Even when they're not watching it, they'll forget, and it'll just get taken out of their account every month, and you're like guaranteed $5 a month.
Yep, I agree.
And I am a good-looking guy. I will draw people into your TV channel. People will pay to see me.
They probably don't need us. I think the product sells itself in this case.
I am the frosting on your sugary sweet cake. That's why you want to get me in there.
All right.
I bring in the older demographics, Steve. I mean, I didn't want to put it that way, but there you go.
All right. You strike a hard bargain.
I strike an easy bargain. I'll do it.
Well, this is a shorter show for you guys, just because Will and I had busy weekends, and we're still... I don't know. I'm still recovering from last week. I had a lot of editing and stuff to do. But we'll be back in February, aka in a couple hours, with our normal episodes with start, finish, sometimes Travis, sometimes not. We'll end with Pokemon of the Week. We got a bunch of emails to cover, too. So if you want to send in emails just to make that pile even greater, and that's fine. I'm cool with that. It's SBJ at PKMNcast.com. Otherwise, that's going to wrap up our show for you guys today. Hopefully you enjoyed our news and our rants. Will is at Wash in the Sink on Twitter. And I am at Dragging a Lake on Twitter. And you can follow the podcast on Twitter at Pokemon Podcast. But otherwise, this has been... Oh, I should say that our theme song, our new theme song, is based on Route 201. And this episode is 201.
Wow.
Look at that. I almost forgot, Will. But I slid it in there. This has been another episode of the Pokemon Podcast. And we are...
Super Vanguard.